prequels are quite possibly one of the worst things to happen in horror films. Hey, that 7-foot-tall chainsaw-wielding monstrosity is scary. I wonder what he was like as a teenager. No one wanted this! Leatherface is a prequel to the Tobe Hooper classic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's also, by a wide margin, one of the worst films of the year. When I first heard about the movie, I joked calling it Dawson's Chainsaw Massacre, not knowing just how well that would fit. Let's make Leatherface one of the most iconic horror villains into a handsome teenager that doesn't want to kill anybody. The movie starts off at the Sawyer farm. We know this because they keep showing the sign over and over. It's like the remake of Friday the 13th where they kept showing the Camp Crystal Lake sign. Boy, I wonder where we are. If only they could show us a sign repeatedly as a reminder. Do they think the audience is filled with goldfish? Anyway, the Sawyer family capture a guy who's trying to steal their pigs, so they're gonna kill him. With about as much subtlety as a brick to the forehead, they give young Jed a giant chainsaw and tell him to kill the guy. Jed's just a little boy, not a monster, so he can't do it. Later, after the Sawyer family kills the sheriff's daughter, he takes all the kids in the house and puts them into foster care. 10 years later, we meet a new group of kids, all with different names, so we have no idea which one is Jed. The whole time, we're supposed to have no idea which one is Jed, except for the fact that it's ridiculously obvious to anyone with half a brain. I see a lot of movies, and it's not very often that I'm angry at something. I was angry at this. This was from the French directors who did Inside, which was one of my favorite films of 2007. How they managed to make this abomination is a mystery. I read there was a lot of studio meddling, but even with a better edit, I don't see how this could ever be good. The story is just flat out stupid. Let's introduce an iconic horror character as a scared child, and then put him in sort of this musical chairs mystery where the audience has to figure out which one he is as a teen. And then throw in a lot of gore and, why not, necrophilia. If you thought the Welcome to Texas line in Texas Chainsaw 3D was bad, wait until you hear the We're from Texas drivel spouted throughout the entire film. We're from Texas. This is Texas. We do things differently in Texas. Oh my god, stop. Stephen Dorff's wasted in the film, and Lily Taylor gives one of the worst fake southern accents I've ever heard. Let's talk about teen Leatherface. Rather than give us a glimpse into some insane kid that grew up into a hulking monstrosity bereft of any sort of morals, we get a shy, quiet kid who just wants a normal life. It's not until he's thrust into these horrible situations that badly scars him and flips him like a switch into a chainsaw-wielding monster. They try to make him a sympathetic character that's a product of this messed up family. A family that he hasn't seen for most of his life. They try to make it that he's been raised to be a killer, except he hasn't seen any of them for 10 years, and 2 days of being back makes him hack up the girl who was trying to help him. I know I like Texas Chainsaw 3D. However, they didn't make Leatherface into a sympathetic character. They just showed how the town was just as corrupt as the Sawyer family. Leatherface was more of an anti-hero, not a 15-year-old having an identity crisis. Leatherface barely feels like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. It's almost like they shot it and then inserted references to try to sell it as one. No one in the film is likable. Even the innocent people feel like nothing more than cannon fodder. Also, the laughable notion to make Jed into this handsome kid, as if that would somehow trick the audience into thinking he wasn't Leatherface. There's been a lot of Texas Chainsaw movies since the original. Remakes, reboots, sequels. This isn't even the first prequel. However, it is one of the worst in the series, and without a doubt, one of the worst films of the year. Matthew McConaughey with robot legs wasn't this bad.